Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to the Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice, and this is a weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with the host, Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, I've known you for a while. I recommend you and your team for years. What are some of the top agent hiring mistakes that would-be home sellers should avoid?
Well, Richard, not all real estate agents are the same. The turnover in the industry is pretty extraordinary. And a lot of people assume that an agent has a lot of expertise based on the years in business. That could be true or may not. There are some agents that only sell one or two homes, but they keep their license for decades. So picking the wrong agent, especially when you're selling a home, can really cost a home seller thousands of dollars. And the stats are that most people only speak to one agent before putting their home on the market. And many times it might be the person that sold them that home. If they're still in business, oh yeah, we know so-and-so, we're going to work with so-and-so. And that's fine. It's okay as long as you trust them and they know what are the latest and greatest things in the industry. I talk about it. Let me give you an example. It would be pictures and how important the online presentation of a home is. It's absolutely critical that you get that right, because we know that 88% of the buyers eliminate homes based on the online presentation. It's not like the old days when I started, when you would get somebody that wanted to buy or sell a house. Maybe they're calling about a house, right? And you go meet them at the house. And then you find out what they're looking for. And then you pick some homes and go show them homes. Well, that's not how it works anymore, because the buyers are making their decision as to whether or not they even want to leave their fuzzy bunny slippers, or whether even want to leave their home to go look at this house, or they even want to raise their hand and let people know they're an interested buyer in this market. Sometimes they'll wait until it's the perfect home before they appear on the scene. And so what's happened is, years ago, typically buyers would look at anywhere from, I would say, 20 to 40 homes. I think my personal record, according to that client, was 127 homes. That was a lot. But, the average probably 20 to 40 homes before they pick one. What has changed now is that the online presentation is so high quality, they are eliminating the majority of the homes in just seconds. So they're actually only physically going to look at 1 to 5 homes when they actually start looking. And so so the stats have actually gotten worse about the performance of real estate agents. Now it's 81% of them sell 3 or less homes a year, right? So I would say, going into working with a real estate agent, you want to know that you could cancel your contract if you're not satisfied. You don't want to have any uncertainty in the whole entire process. And it's really important that you ask the right questions of whatever agent that you're speaking to before you actually sign on the dotted line. And that's one of the things that we offer, is a free report called the 10 questions you should ask before you hire an agent. You can order that report by going to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on the green button in the upper right-hand corner that says Seller Guide, and you can download any one of my reports there. And some of the questions that you should be asking, I'll give you a few examples, are things like, what is your success percentage in selling homes? Okay, and see what they say. What's the average amount of time it takes for you to sell a home? And a really good question is, do you have a team? Another question that they probably don't want to hear is, how many buyers are you currently working with? And of course, can I cancel my agreement if I'm not satisfied with the performance? And you want to know, what is your marketing strategy? Because I would say a majority of the real estate agents in this world solely rely on getting some pictures, slap it in the MLS, and hope and pray somebody else brings them a buyer, which is not as effective as it could be. So some agent hiring mistakes are going with the agent that actually promises you to get you the highest price. Well, is that real or not? Like a lot of, we call that buying the business, where you meet with agents and say, oh, well, this agent said I could get 560 and that agent said 499. So I'll go with the 560. And then they list the house and it sits on the market week after week after week with no offer, very few showings. And then, you know, it doesn't sell. And then everybody's disappointed and it gets stale on the market. It's okay to test it just a little bit, but not for very long. It used to be a bad thing if you would reduce the price just a little over a year ago, but now they understand. I would say probably 65% of the home sellers are having to reduce their price if it's not selling right out of the gate. That means they didn't get the price right. And it's really hard to make that call right now, because looking backwards at historic sales, similar homes are selling for more. But you want an agent that knows how to position the home so you are the best home available on the market at this time. And it's a challenge to do it during a pricing correction period. Now, the good news is right now we're correcting the right way. So when the Fed raised all those interest rates, the rates when the Fed increased the interest rates last year, it was the fastest increase of interest rates that we have ever seen in history. It went from 3% to 7% in just a few months. It created kind of extreme demand destruction because the buyers could no longer afford the payments, the majority of the buyers. So a lot of them dropped off. A lot of them had to go and save money for their down payment. And so the problem was that there was a price correction in the Pikes Peak region. It dropped about 11%. Now it's kind of recorrected back up and we're off only by a few percentage points. And Denver dropped about 3% from a year ago. So here are the hard facts about real estate agents. 80% of the agents get out of the business in 5 years or less. So what does that tell you? That they're not able to make a business out of it. We actually have 5 times more real estate agents than we have homes for sale. So not every agent's getting paid every single month. And thousands of agents are getting jobs. Why? Because number of listings are up, number of pending sales are down, which is an indication of future income. So if you hire an agent that is not selling homes, the question I would ask is, okay, do you have cash reserves to really market my home? Or are you just going to use your smartphone and take pictures of my home and hope it works out? My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty Colorado. I'm the host of Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about why so many agents don't make it past their 5th year in real estate. And next up, we're going to talk about some hiring mistakes to avoid and some great questions that you can ask in the process. Richard?
Barb, there's a difference between hoping that a home sells or trying to sell it, and marketing is what you do. There's a world of difference. We're going to talk more about that. And what are some top agent hiring mistakes that home sellers are making out there?
Well, I would say if you ask questions of the agent, it's okay to interview a couple of them. There's nothing wrong with that. They're not going to be offended. You know, they understand there's different choices out there to work with, but ask them, how many buyers are you working with? How likely is your company to bring a buyer through my home? And are the buyers you're bringing through actually qualified to buy a house? We see this all the time. It's probably one of the biggest frustrations that I have is many times when you put a home on the market, maybe some buyer connects with a real estate agent out there and they say, oh my gosh, that house looks great. I'd like to see that home. And the very first meeting with that buyer and the agent is at the house. They haven't vetted them. They don't know if they're qualified. They don't know if they can buy a couch on Craigslist, let alone your home. They're just showing up there in the hopes of maybe it is a real buyer that can afford your home. And then if they don't like that home, oh, well, they'll go show them another one. So it's a big waste of time for everybody. We actually don't work that way. When we meet with buyers, we sit down with them, we find out what they're looking for. We make sure they have their best financing lined up because you know what? Right now, in my world, with some of my listings, I am getting bidding wars. And if you're not qualified and ready to make that offer, if you have competition, you're not going to get the house. And, a nice agent is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But are they actually trained to market, to handle objections, to negotiate, and do they have closing skills? These are the skills that the public expects to see. And then another mistake is going with an agent that doesn't have a team, if they're a one-stop shop. I just picked up a listing from somebody like that was traveling, had to have surgery, this and that, and so they kind of really lost sight of taking care of this client who needed to sell this home, and it didn't sell. So they said, okay, well, this isn't working. So they pulled it off the market for a while. And make sure you ask them, what kind of guarantees do you offer with your business? We actually have a whole bunch of guarantees that we offer upfront and in writing. We offer a buyers in waiting guarantee. We have over 27,000 buyers that are looking to buy homes. Many times I can match at least 100 buyers with your home that are willing to pay full market value. We also have our 64 cash investors. We have an honest promises guarantee that we're going to be honest with you no matter what. Or we'll give you a big financial credit or donate it to charity. Our communication guarantee, our home sale reality selling price and home sale reality days on market guarantee, and a cancellation guarantee. Not every agent does that. My team and I are selling homes every 72 hours. We know our statistics. We know about marketing because we're actively marketing, and we know what's working right now and what's not working right now. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to get a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, and take a look at our buyers in waiting and find out how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you're not ready now, go ahead and download that free report at barbhasthebuyers.com entitled The 10 Agent Hiring Questions. You go to Barb as the Buyers, click on the green button that says free reports, and all of my reports are there for you for free to download. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice and the host of this show. She's with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and you can always reach her at 719-301-3900. Barb is the only agent I recommend when you're thinking of making a move, or recommend her to your friends, coworkers, and family. You're listening, as I said, to the Real Estate Voice. We'll take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about checklist for selling a home and Barb's hot new listings. You don't want to miss any of that. Stay tuned.